Hello everyone, this is Lan once again back with another video. So for today's Julia guide video, I'm going to show you guys on how to use a Windroll option. So for the first part of the video, we will talk about shotgun to Windroll. Then after I'm done talking about shotgun to Windroll, then we will talk about what's turning to into Windroll and all the options she can do and also the risk and reward level out of it. Okay, so before I begin the video, for those of you guys who haven't checked out my previous guide video, I'll put in the description link below so you guys can check it out in case if you haven't watched or you might have missed it when I upload it on my YouTube channel. For those of you guys who watched, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate a lot. So I'm looking forward to do more guides in the future before Tekken 8 comes out. Okay, so before anything else, let's begin the video. Okay, so for the first part of the video, I'm going to talk about shotgun into Windroll 1. So for those who don't know, shotgun into Windroll 1 is basically this. Okay, so the purpose of this move, right, shotgun into Windroll 1. The purpose of this move is to counter hit fish your opponent, but also not only to counter hit fish your opponent, but also to knowledge check your opponent to see if they know like the matchup or something else. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you guys on how to use the move itself. Okay, so for this part of the video, right, regarding shotgun Windroll 1. Okay, this move, right, the problem with this move is that it can be interrupted if you use a 10, 11 or 12 frame move. I'm going to show you guys a demonstration. Let's say I'm going to computer to do it. So if I use the 10 frame move, you guys saw that you will interrupt the follow-up. It will be counter hit launcher. I mean, not counter hit launcher, counter hit like knockdown, or maybe Akuma, he will get a jab into Shoryuken cancel, you never know. But if you do an 11 frame move, a character like Julia and Law with 11 frame, or not just 11 frame but also 12 frame magic fall will beat out this option. Let's say 11 frame will beat out this option, but also 12 frame move will beat out. So let's say for example her 12 frame Punisher 2 back, that will beat out this option also. So yeah, it's kinda. So the thing about this move is that it can be interrupted if you do a 10 frame move, 11 frame move or 12 frame move if they try to challenge the Windroll. But the thing about this move is that if your opponent do a 13 frame move onwards or above, you can convert into a launcher, and I'm gonna show you now. There, you see that? The counter hit stun. So Julia down forward 3 is basically 13 frame. So 13 frame move will trade with Windroll 1 and you can get a launcher follow up. Let's say now I'm gonna do her, let's say she doesn't have 14 frames, so I'm gonna do her 15. Yeah, so if I do a 15 frame, I mean 13 frame will trade. 14 onwards to 15, it will be counter hit launcher, then you can get a lot of combo damage out of it. So that's the the reward on her Windroll 1, but also the risk is that it can be interrupted. And also you can duck the high to outstanding Punisher. Okay. So it's either on how this option can be beaten is that opponent will do a 10, 11 or 12 frame move, it will beat your Windroll 1 option, or they can duck the high maybe to launch you or what's that. Okay, so that's the general knowledge you have to know regarding Windroll 1. But now I'm going to show you guys a character specific regarding this. So the first character specific regarding Windroll 1 option will be Steve. Why Steve is because Steve, you guys know that he have the back one, this move which is a 13 frame move. The thing about Steve is that even though this move, right, traded with Windroll 1, right, you cannot convert into a launcher, and it really sucks for you and your opponent, because both of you guys doing a counter hit fishing move, but both of you guys cannot follow up a combo. So basically you have to reset the whole situation. So right now I'm going to show you guys on what exactly I'm trying to say. Can you see? You guys saw that? One more time. Yeah, so this is why Windroll 1 against Steve is not really a recommended idea to you, but sometimes you need to go for it to knowledge check your opponent, right? The thing about Windroll 1 against Steve is that even though he's 13 frame traded with your Windroll, I mean 13 frame will trade no matter what, right? But Steve is one of those characters where you cannot convert into a launcher no matter what. But let's say if Steve players do like, let's say, let me get history. Let's say they get to go for a race drive challenge or Windroll. Yeah, you can still beat out. So 14 is always guaranteed you will beat out every option. But 13 will trade. Only Steve you cannot convert into launcher because Steve that one is a counter hit launcher move. So any character with 13 frame counter hit launcher you cannot convert into a follow up combo. This is something that you guys need to take note of when fighting against Steve. Julia. So the next character I'm going to show you guys will be Leroy. Okay, so for Leroy, right, you guys know that against this guy, your reroll option, no matter what, from high to mid to low, the low health rate doesn't matter because bet 1 plus 2, bet 1 plus 2 is a 12 frame move, right? The 12 frame move. So if you get the thing about Julia is that Windroll 1 is one of the fastest move for Windroll. Windroll 2, Windroll 3 and Windroll Health Switch is like slower. But Windroll 1 is one of the fastest move for Windroll. So basically, the thing about Leroy is that she can actually stop shotgun mix up with just bet 1 plus 2. So it doesn't really matter. Sorry, that's a high. Yeah, bet 1 plus 2. So you can top like every option. So I'm going to show you guys now Windroll 2 sweep also just to be clear. Yep, beat out. That's why this is one of the matchups that you need to be careful using shotgun mix up. Yeah, so it doesn't matter to Leroy. Like Leroy will like screw your Windroll mix up, bro. I have bet 1 plus 2. What you gonna do about it? But you know, against Leroy, what you can do is right. You can fake out your Windroll. You can fake out your Windroll. Let's say for example here. Yeah, see? If you fake out your Windroll, okay, because in recent patch, right, Leroy bet 1 button now is -10 on block. So basically, if Leroy player, there's more risk to it now if Leroy player try to abuse bet 1 plus 2 against Windroll option. So what I'm gonna show you guys, because back in the day it's safe, right? But now it's unsafe, so Leroy player can abuse bet 1 plus 2 against a Windroll option anymore. They can still do it, but the reward will be, I mean, the risk is minor, but still, you know, it's good that you can punish it. Once again, like yeah, you can punish it. Now it's a punish, so it's -10 on block, so which is a good thing. But again, you know, like okay, let's say now I'm going to show you guys another way where what you can do against people that like to challenge a lot against Windroll 1 option. Let's say for example this is not Leroy, this is like some other character. Let's say for example like okay, this is the type of guy that like to challenge my Windroll 1 with 10, 11, 12 frame move. So here what you can do for another option to get them to stop trying to challenge. Like down, forward, 1, 2. So if opponent try to challenge, right? See, I try to bet 1 plus 2 with Leroy. Yeah, I'll get counter hit no matter what. Try to jab. Yeah, so this move is good, but this move is high risk, high reward. It's minus 14 on block, so that means that some character can launch it like Brian, Law, Paul. These are an example of a character that can launch it. So this move, right, the purpose of down 4-1-2 is to catch people that try to challenge your Windroll mix-up. But you know, it's high reward at the wall because it's wall splat. But on infinite state or maybe not close to the wall, you don't get much reward out of it. But the risk is quite high, it's minus 14, so we fight like, yeah, like those characters that I mentioned, right? Yeah, you will get launched for it and eat a lot of damage. This is something that you need to take note of when you use Windroll 1. Try to mix up with down 4-1-2 shotgun into elbow. This is something that you need to take note of. Okay, so right now I'm gonna talk about Windroll 1 on block into Magic 4 frame trap or 1-1-1 frame trap. This move that, let's say opponent didn't challenge it. There's also a frame trap option you can go for. Like for example, I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, like that, Magic 4. So you guys know that, okay, the thing about this move is that okay, Windroll 1 Windroll 1, right, is 0 on block. So if your opponent challenge you with 10 frame, 11 frame, oh sorry, I mean depends on what the Julia player do. Let's say if you do a 11 frame move and a Julia player do a 10 frame move, you will lose to it. You will lose to her 1-1-1 frame trap follow up. But if she do Magic 4, which is 11 frame, and you do a 11 frame move, it will trade. It will trade. But if you do a 10 frame move, you will win. Yeah, basically you prevent her from trying to frame trap you with Magic. So it's something that you need to take note of when you try to how do you say, frame trap them with 1-1 and Magic 4 after, because this one is very common. Every Julia player should know this. Like after Windroll 1, yeah, it's always like, let's say on block, it's always like your option is either Magic 4 or 1-1-1 for counter hit fishing purpose. But also this one you need to take note of that you can actually be sidestepped out of it. In some players they will try to, you know, punish this. Maybe you cannot sidestep left. Okay, so you cannot sidestep left. Okay, this more track to the left side. Okay, so if they will sidestep right, they will sidestep right, and they will try to like punish you for this. But also, you know, like if you think they're gonna sidestep, here's what you can do. So if they try to sidestep and punish you for this, you can go for a homing move to prevent them from stepping. And also another way is that you can do is basically Windroll 1 into QCF2. So Windroll 1 into QCF2 is to high crush a certain move. QCF2 is not a true high crush move, but it does high crush most of the move in, let's say 90%. I'll show you an example here. Let's say for example, yeah, it's not that. So let's say if the player, they're gonna try to, let's say they know the matchup, right? They know that you're gonna do like 1-1-1 on Magic 4, because 1-1 will trade, right? Then Magic 4 you will lose, right? Another way you can challenge this option to get them, if you think they're gonna press, you can do QCF2. Or QCF2, yeah, QCF2, and you can get a full combo against them. This is something you need to take note of when you use Windroll 1. So now you already know the risk, and you already know the reward, and you know the mind game block. In conclusion, to wrap up this part of the video regarding shotgun Windroll 1, that this move you can be interrupted if you do a 10, 11 or 12 frame move. Okay, but this move will beat every option from 13 onward. 13 will trade, 14 and above, their move will lose to your Windroll 1. But again, you know, some character with 13 frame launcher like Steve, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't matter because even if it trade, you will still lose to it anyway. I mean, not me. You wanna be able to convert it to a launcher. That's something you need to take note of. I guess Leroy, yeah, you need to take note of that. It's very risky to throw out all her Windroll option against it. But you know, it's all part of the mind games. You guys know what to do after you guys watch this guy after today. Okay, so for the second part of the video, I'm going to show you guys Windroll 2. So Windroll 2 is one of a mid option where it's actually to catch people ducking to block Hell Sweep. But also, yeah, it's one of the safest option, I would say. This move is basically -9 on block. And also, it calls it Ballerina Spin. So, you guys know, right, in Tekken 7, the mechanic is where if a move causes a Ballerina Spin, right, it means it will wall splat. And if you play in a stage like, let's say, for example, Vermilion Gates, if you do it on a breakable wall, yeah, then it will break the wall and then you can extend their combo. This not only will wall splat, but also breakable. I mean, it's also you can break wall with this move also. So this move also provide huge plus on hit. So Ballerina Speed always provide this plus on hit, then you can keep up the pressure. Like, say, I'm gonna show you an example right now. For example, on hit, you can do like down back for example. Oh shit. Let's try one more time. Yeah, and then you get massive frame advantage, then you can keep out the pressure afterwards. Okay, so the purpose of Windroll 2, this move, right, is to catch people ducking. And also the purpose of this one is to fish for wall splat and also to break walls. So yeah, that's the purpose of Windroll 2. But also Windroll 2, you can also use it to knowledge check the opponent. If they never challenge, right? So if they never challenge, if they try to they never challenge, right? Yeah, then it's good for you. But if they challenge, right, you will get like counter hit. You will get like counter hit launch. You know, as I mentioned earlier in regarding Windroll 1. So whatever option you go for, you will, you know, your opponent option will beat your Windroll 2. That's why it's always important to condition them with Windroll 1, make them scared to press and then go for Windroll 2. You think they're not gonna challenge. So that's how you use Windroll 2. Okay, so for the next part of the video, I'm going to show you guys Windroll 1, 3, 1 plus 2. So basically it's a Windroll move where she can follow up into a knee and a shoulder. Okay, so let me turn on frame data. Okay, so regarding this move, right, is that the purpose of this move is to catch opponent ducking. Same as Windroll 2, but this one there's a risk to it. So this move is actually like, it does more damage than Windroll 2. Let's say for example, if you wall splat your opponent with Windroll 2, right, you don't get a lot of damage out of it. But if you wall splat them with Windroll 3 1 plus 2, you can get like big chunky damage. Doesn't matter after wall splat or after balcony break. So this is a good move to play mind game with your opponent, so to catch people that duck. So the reason why you don't see people, including myself, do Windroll 3 1 plus 2 option is because Windroll 2 is safe. Windroll 1 plus 2, 3 plus, so Windroll 3 1 plus 2 is -13 on block. So that this is high risk, high reward. Windroll 2 is minimal reward, no risk. It's always best to do, but you know, if you want damage, right, if you're really hungry, you need the damage, right, then I recommend you to use this. It's the same as Windroll 2. The only difference that it doesn't cost a ballerina spin, but it does wall splat and it does wall break. Okay, so that's all you need to know regarding Windroll. 3 1 plus 2. I think this is something that a lot of people are aware of. Okay, some people, right? Let's say for example, when they do shotgun into Windroll 3, they are not familiar that this move is actually launch punishable on block. If you never commit to the follow-up, it's minus 17 on block. So if you think that they're not gonna commit to the follow-up, you can go for launch and launch punish this. Is super minus, is minus 17. And majority of the roster can launch it well, including Steve back too. But you know, again, if you try to challenge this, right? Try to press. You know, there's always a follow-up extension. Yeah, you know, if you try to challenge, you know, you will get hit by the shoulder. The shoulder, not only that it hits you, but it will also wall splat or wall break. So you need to be careful, try to challenge it. You need to be careful, try to challenge it. So I tried to use 10 frame move there, but no, you cannot interrupt the second hit. So the thing about this move is that you need to be careful, try to challenge. If you you know, because the extension is gonna be really painful if you try to press after you block the knee follow up. So that's all you need to know regarding Windroll 3 1 plus 2. Okay, so for the next part of the video, I'm going to show you guys Windroll into Hell Sweep. So you guys know that this move, Windroll into Hell Sweep, it's one of a power low that you have to do from Windroll to break your opponent's defense. If you think they're not gonna duck, they're gonna stand block all day, this is where you can like break their defense and get some damage in. It's a really strong low, it does like 32 damage, but it's a high risk, high reward low. Okay, so this move, right, you know, like not only it will balcony break, but it doesn't wall splat. So if balcony break, you can get a combo follow up, but it doesn't wall splat. So basically, let's say at the wall, let's say when you hit them near to the wall with Windroll Hell Sweep, you need to go for another 50-50 setup, like manual Windroll into downfall one, another Hell Sweep. But right now, I'm going to show you guys something about Windroll Hell Sweep. Okay, Windroll Hell Sweep is not only a power low, but it's a high crush. But let's say if your opponent tries to challenge you, okay, let's say for example, your opponent tried to challenge your Windroll 1, I mentioned the earlier part of the video. So what you can do, another option is that you can go for Windroll Hell Sweep. High crushes. So whatever high move your opponent do, doesn't matter, you will high crush. The true high crush low. But the thing about this move is that it's a slow move to come out. So let's say your opponent do like 15 frame move, you know, it will beat out. So yeah, if your opponent do a mid, it will beat out all your Windroll. It will beat out your Windroll option. But again, you know, like if they do a mid, it's like 13, 14 onwards, right? You go for Windroll 1, it will be counted launcher. So that's where the mind game comes in. So this is something that you need to take note of. So regarding Windroll Hell Sweep, is to catch people that don't duck and block. If you want like balcony break, you can go for this move, Windroll Hell Sweep. And also you can high crush if people try to challenge your Windroll mix-up game. So this is something that you need to take note of when you do Windroll Hell Sweep. Okay, so that wraps up the first part of the video where I talked with you guys regarding shotgun to Windroll mix-up. So you guys now know how to use Windroll 1, Windroll 2, Windroll 3 1 plus 2, and Windroll 4 Hell Sweep. So the next part of the video, I'm gonna show you guys on how to use while standing to Windroll and then all the risk and reward you can. Okay, so for the next part of the video, I'm going to show you guys on how to use a wastang tool to Windroll, or maybe wastang 2-1, and wastang 2-1 plus 2, and then you charge it or you didn't charge it. Okay, so the thing about this move is that okay, let me get a CPU to do it. It's easier to show. First, I'm gonna talk about wastang 2 into Windroll 1. Okay, this move, right? Let's say on hit, so let's say this move is on hit, for example, as you guys can see earlier, let's say if this move hit you and you try to challenge her Windroll 1, you get counter hit for it. There you see, one more time. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Leroy or Steve, you will still lose to it because it's super plus on hit. One more time. There you see. So this, okay, so if you're wastang to hit them, right, whatever mode you try to throw it out, it will be counted launcher. It's same as shotgun also. Again, you know, like, think about this mode is that if you block and follow up, yeah, it's the same as shotgun also. Let's say if you do 13 frame, it will trade. If you do a 10 frame, 11 frame, 12 frame, yeah, it will beat out the option from wastang 2 into Windroll 1. So same thing, 13 frame, it will trade. I mean, if it's Steve, yeah, if it's Steve, right, yeah, I mean, you guys know lah what to expect. And Leroy also. You know, let's say if you do like down forward 2-1, try to launch Windroll follow up, yeah, and then we'll get counter hit launch point. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys the other way on how you can use wastang 2. Okay, so the other way regarding wastang 2 is that let's say for example your opponent try to challenge, let's say you know, as I showed in the earlier part where if your wastang 2 got blocked, right, if they do 10 to 12 frame move, it can interrupt you, right? But there's also another way where you can actually make them scared to challenge you. I'm gonna show you now. Yeah, wastang 2-1, sorry, and 2-1. This move not only counter hit launcher, but also it's the best way to. This move not only counter hit launcher, but it's also the best way to play mind game your opponent that try to challenge you from your wastang 2. So I'm gonna show you guys a sample combo what you can get from wastang 2-1. A big damage from this at 77 damage. So it's super risky to challenge wastang 2 after on block because you know the damage that you can inflict on your opponent. Your opponent need to be careful try to challenge from wastang 2. Also another way what you can do if you don't want to go for wastang 2-1, because okay, wastang 2-1, right, counter is good, and on normal hit, right, the knockdown into 4-4-3 follow up. You can do, if you want more damage, you can do 4-4-2. Depends on if you want damage, no OK 4-4-2. If you want OK, less damage 4-4-3. But the thing about this is that it's a hide. So let's say your opponent, let's say, if you think they're gonna go for the hide, you can launch them like that. Yeah, launch is the best option. You can launch them basically. You need to be careful. Doing this move. But if you want a safer option, you can do like 2-2 to this one. So if you think that your opponent gonna duck, yeah, the follow up, the second and third hit will be guaranteed. But again, you know, like if they block it, you get massive plus frame. Then you can keep out the pressure from here. So another thing, one of you guys, I think some of you guys may not know, but after watering, after this one, right? Or charge and without charge, right? You can actually go into full crouch mix up. So let's say, for example, you guys should take note of, like, let's say, this is something that not a lot of people know, right? So after you do watering to or into charge, right? You can actually go into full crouch. You can 50-50 them from there on, full crouch mix up there. So what you need to do is that after watering to you hold down back, you go into full crouch. Then you can mix them up with the low, the mid, or the mid option. To recap, watering 2 is that your opponent try to challenge you after they block your watering 2, you can do watering 2-1 counter hit launcher, but that's the risk. The risk is basically it's a high, so they can duck and launch you. Or if you want to be safe, you can do watering 2-2. The charge is safe, but the non-charge version is unsafe. But you know, both to catch duckers also, and also can catch people that like try to press a button like that. Okay, so yeah, so that's something how you use watering 2. Watering 2-1, watering 2-2, charge or no charge version, or watering 2 into Windroll 1. Okay, now I'm gonna move on and talk about the remainder option. Okay, so the next one will be watering 2 into Windroll 2. Okay, actually, there's nothing much to talk about, but I will just summarize you guys regarding watering 2, Windroll 2, 3-1+2, and 4 health sweep. So once again, you know, like this move. Okay, so watering 2 into Windroll 2 is to catch people ducking, basically. Let's say if they get hit and you want to duck afterward, or if they're scared to press, you want to duck. Yeah, you can, you know, like catch them ducking. It's the same as shotgun into Windroll 2. Not much of a difference. Make it the same thing, just that watering 2 you do it from full crouch for mixed up. And also this move was splat, also balcony break, same thing. And next I'm going to talk about watering 2 into 3-1+2. It's the same thing also. Fun, you know, like same thing. Try to duck, you get hit. Try to challenge the knee. You know, you try to launch the knee, they do extension, right? Yeah, you will get or splat or balcony break. And also if you never commit to the second hit of the knee, yeah, you can launch. Yeah, there you can just launch it. Very straightforward. I'm gonna talk about Windroll health sweep. Is the same thing. So you can usually it's best to like mix up from watering 2 with a Windroll health sweep or Windroll 2. It's the same as shotgun. As I mentioned earlier, it's the same as shotgun. Just that it's not you do it from full crouch. Yeah, so you do it from full crouch. So that's how you mix up. That's how you use watering 2 option. So we have come to the end of the video. I hope that after watching the video, this video will be useful and meaningful for you guys. If you guys, you know, like once again, as I mentioned to all my previous guide video, if you have any question, you can come to my live stream and ask me some questions, or you can DM me on Twitter, or you can join my Discord and you know, DM me or ask inside my Discord server. Everything will be in the description link below. And also, recently I created a TikTok guide video. So the purpose of that is to expand my brand, I guess. So if you guys are interested to follow my TikTok, where I will post short clips, right? Yeah, I will put in the description down below so you guys can follow me and check it out. Okay, so we have come to the end of the Windroll guide. So if you guys have any guide recommendation that you guys want me to do in the future, do let me know in the comment section below. Then I can consider, and then you can see how am I gonna do in the future. And also recently I posted regarding like you guys send me your video clips, so I will do a match review. Okay, so regarding that, okay, I plan to do that. So if you guys have any matches you guys want me to review, I can make a video of it, and then I will give some feedback also in the process. So yeah, so that's my plan in the future. And also somebody suggest me to make like character matchups guide, how to fight certain character with Julia. Okay, that one is a lot of work, but I will be considered. Alright everyone, take care. I'll see you guys soon.